I made a synthesizer in Scratch.
That's pretty dumb. Why'd you create a synthesizer in Scratch? That's like the basicest programming language ever. Use like JavaScript or C or something.
Actually, Scratch has everything that JavaScript has and makes it easier to code to.
Haha, noob.
Just let me rap about my stupid Scratch synthesizer, okay? I spent a lot of time on it.
Okay, so what is FM Synthesis?
Okay, time to pull out the Desmos. Okay, so here we have a sine wave, and this is what it sounds like when we play it through my wave player. I love my wave player so much, it's actually like really good and stuff.
Okay, nerd, we don't need to know about the wave player. We just want to know about FM Synthesis.
Oh, okay, this is what it sounds like. You can see it generates a very smooth tone and only has one harmonic. We can add a variable A to adjust the amplitude or volume of the sine wave. You can see how this affects the graph. We can add another variable W to control the wavelength or frequency of the sine wave. We can set it to 2, 3, or 4 times the original frequency of the sine wave. Now, what if we control the frequency of the original sine wave with another sine wave? Oh, wow, we're already getting a very different wave shape from the original sine wave. Let's simplify this a little. Instead of changing the frequency over time, let's change the shift of the wave using a sine wave. This has the same effect as before, but without the weird interference from the equation. Somehow. The variable m changes how much the original sine wave's frequency is changed by changing the volume of the sine wave going into the equation. The more modulation you add, the brighter the sound sounds and adds more harmonics in. We can use these simple principles together to create rich but complex timbres with less work. This allows FM Synthesis to create the most complex sounds by chaining these operators together in a harmonious fashion.
So basically,
Get cool, bro! FM Synthesis isn't for buffoons like you! How do people even use this stuff? It's like quantum entanglement!
quantum facts.
Oh no!
You can make this sound. Oh, and this. So, how did I make one of these in Scratch? I mean, there isn't a wave player in Scratch, and you can only import pre-made sounds into the sound player. So, how are we going to synthesize new sounds?
Oh, you would just constantly play a steady pulse sound and then modulate the volume to play different wave shapes. Easy.
Well, as it turns out, Scratch is too slow. Well, guess I'll just try and see if someone else is trying to create a synthesizer on Scratch. Okay. What? Kozuru made a project called FamiTracker Synthesizer. That looks cool. Better go check it out. So you're telling me that this song was completely resynthesized in Scratch? No way. So apparently you can use additive sine synthesis to create complex sounds in Scratch. Oh, so by using sine waves to make harmonic content of sounds, we can synthesize any sound we want. Let's see how this works. Oh, so, remember that wave player from earlier? Well, it has everything we need already in it.
Did I hear someone say wave player?
Oh, hi, nerd. Do you mind explaining how your wave player works?
Free yapping pass.
Oh, so you needed my wave player all along, didn't you?
Oh, no. I was just, interested, yes.
Okay, so here we have our formula called the Fourier transform that you've only learned in a class called How to Make a Synthesizer in a Useless Program. Yeah, so this transforms our waves that we've created in this function here into, just give it a second. So our thingy here shows us the harmonics of our wave. So you can see that harmonic 1 should be about 0.651 and harmonic 2 should be at 0.8 or 184, and harmonic 3 is negative. But we can't have a negative volume in Scratch, so we will just make it absolute value because it has the same sound, it just has a different shape. And so number 4 is 0.423. So this should adjust the length of the list and how many harmonics are being added.
Oh, so by using 64 sine waves all tuned to the harmonic series, we can use them to play any sound by manipulating the volume. Alright, let's try to build a prototype in Scratch. Oh, you already built a whole wavetable synthesizer. Well, anyway, let's take a look at how I made the Fourier transform in Scratch. So, you might have already noticed that the Fourier transform is not a simple equation. It requires an integration. This is a complex mathematical operation that it's like a sum, but calculates the area under a curve and sums that together, which should find the weight or center of mass of a wave. So we'll start off with a basic sum, but we will calculate the area in the sum every time it loops around to find the area under the curve to the best of Scratch's abilities. Alright, now that we got an integration formula good, we just need to integrate the formula every time we need to calculate a harmonic, which takes up a lot of time because it calculates 128 calculations per cycle, and that's just for one harmonic. So this is going to take a lot of computer power, which is why Scratch is very laggy. But anyway, we still get it to run at a good FPS to run our program. As you can see, you can draw any waveform you want on this pen display. But this isn't enough. We need something that we can synthesize any instrument we want, not just a single cycle waveform. So I decided to recreate the Fruity DX10 synth from FL Studio. So by combining the FM synthesis we talked about earlier and using the FFT, or fast Fourier transform, to transform it into sine waves, we can now build our own Fruity DX10 synthesizer. Yeah, so I didn't create a UI for it yet. Here is some of the patches that come with the Fruity DX10. This was a hard project. It took me a few years just to create one synthesizer. But now I can post it on Scratch and get 2 views. Yay. Well, that's all for today's video. Subscribe for more nerd content like this one.